I'm David Houston. It's April 1st, 2011, and I wanted to talk about this book, The Holographic Universe from Michael Talbot. This book, I read it the first time back in '92, I think when it came out, and I've probably read it 6 or 8 times since. Actually, I'm in the middle of finishing it right now. This book is incredible. This book discusses, well, let me just read this. The holographic universe theory explains or allows for paranormal abilities, supernatural events, weird things that happen in the quantum mechanics physics, and the ability of people to maybe spontaneously heal themselves or heal someone else. Anyway, I've bookmarked a couple of pages. I want to just mention a few things. Okay, this guy, it's an account of a guy that was able to regenerate his hip just by thinking about it. This account was where 2 hypnotists were hypnotized, or they hypnotized each other, and then they entered into a shared reality that did not exist for the observer, but it existed for them. And sometimes as they would participate in this trance reality shared event, they would only manifest what was necessary, maybe their heads or their hands, if they were holding each other's hands out in this created world. They got freaked out about it and they quit the study, actually, which I would have kept doing it, but that's me. Here, this begins to talk about poltergeists and how with the holographic model you can understand poltergeist activity centering around an individual that may or may be experiencing, crisis, trauma, aggravation, and their energy is manifesting as broken dishes, pots and pans flying around, who knows what. Again, it makes sense from a holographic model of the universe. Let's see here. This was a event where a girl who was a shaman, I'm trying to find out where, Indonesia, her name was Tia. She was talking with a little girl. The little girl didn't understand what she was saying. She made a whole grove of trees reappear, and then they flicked on and off. So you begin to wonder, well, what exactly is going on? What are you talking about? The reality that we think is real may just be a consensus reality where, if you and I agree that yes, this car is real, and we hop in the car and we take a drive. What if we were taught something else? Or what if we could think something else? And we begin to realize that our world is more plastic. It's more creative, or more, we co-create the world that we want. And you hear a lot about that these days, people talking about manifesting and co-creating and things like that. Makes sense with the holographic model of the universe. This is people, or this particular person was able to, they call it bilocation, and what that means is being in more than one place at the same time, or being able to move from one location to another without physically moving, but just kind of blinking, and here you are, blink, there you are. Again, it's an account in this book discussing that very possibility. Let's see. I don't know what I bookmarked that one for. Oh, this is an account of people being able to see into your body and look at your internal organs. Now, shaman people all over the world have been able to do this for a long time. They would either see a manifestation of some kind of like a demon or whatever, if that was their beliefs, and then they would say, oh, okay, then you need to do this, your liver is acting up. Now, what this is referring to now is people that are able to look into the body. They're not seeing demons or anything like that. They're just seeing like a diseased liver or a diseased pancreas or some kind of ailment. Without an X-ray machine, they're using their own sensations of energy fields, and not necessarily with their eyes. There's one account where the lady would actually close her eyes and sense what was going on, and she was accurate when they would compare notes with your established medical ability to determine what was the problem with the person. This is talking about psychometrizing, however it's pronounced. It's the ability to touch an object and tell you the past of that object or the history of that object. Again, makes sense when you look at the holographic universe, not being static, but being very in motion, very fluid, very non-concrete. Let's see. Some of the people that could psychometricize not only objects but places, they would describe it as the room they would be in, if they were in a room, would kind of fade away and the past would fade in, and it would be as if they were in a three-dimensional world. I don't know if you've ever seen the TV series The Next Generation, Star Trek. They have a holodeck on the Enterprise where they create these 3D worlds, and they liken it to the Star Trek holodeck in here. And so again, there was one guy who he didn't have to be in the location. Let's say some kind of ruins or archaeological dig. Some would need to be there, and they could determine what the people were doing, how the people lived. But there was one guy, he didn't need to be there. He could be at his home or in a lab or whatever, and they just kind of described the place that they would like him to tell them about, and he would just kind of go there, almost like a remote viewing, but a remote viewing in the past. And again, remote viewing is discussed in here, and again, it's explainable when you look at the universe from a holographic standpoint. The ability to predict the future, precognitive, so you're able to see into the future. A lot of the studies were done with cards, objects, to just do a study on. But not only that, you can also determine, what's going to happen tomorrow. You can think about it. There's been cases, even myself, where you envision getting the perfect parking spot when you want to drive to, let's say, a restaurant or a shopping place, and there you go. You get a great spot by just visualizing it before you even set out on your trip. Out-of-body experiences, again, discussed at length in here, talking about how it's possible. Basically, anything you can think of is possible with this theory, the holographic universe. And there's different opinions on the exact structure of this theory. However, basically it all boils down to being not so solid and not so rigid. When an investigator does an experiment concerning quantum mechanics and subatomic particles and even particles that are smaller than that, if they observe it, they change the outcome. So here we have the investigator manipulating almost the experiment. But at the beginning of the book, it talks about holograms, and I don't know if you're familiar with what a hologram is, but a real hologram, not the kind on a credit card or whatever, but a real one, if you capture an image on the photographic plate or plastic, whether it be glass or plastic, you need that same frequency laser light to re-illuminate it, and you'll see the image. Without the laser light, it's just like a moire pattern of interference patterns, or like a moire pattern would be. And so if you were to break that plate every shard of glass, or if you were to cut the plastic, every piece of it would contain the same image, just a little small. So you've got the same image encoded across the plate. And there's even discussion in here about how they think the brain may function like that, where you have this distributed field of energy in the brain which allows you to store information in such a small area, because basically you can take a photographic plate and store many holograms on the same plate, all with different frequency laser light, and you would just need to tune the laser to a specific frequency to re-image the hologram that you encoded at that frequency. So again, it's an incredible book. I encourage anybody to read it, check it out, buy it at Amazon, whatever you got to do. Whether you believe it or not, it opens your mind, it opens your eyes to new ways of thinking about how the universe is put together, and it might possibly provide you with an ability to begin to co-create your own universe, your own life. You know, if your life's going great, maybe you want it to go better. If your life's going crappy, maybe you want it to be a little bit better. So again, I can just encourage you to read this and you know, take advantage of your mind and the powers that you possess.